Alright guys, this video is kind of a little random if you're used to my normal videos. This is not me working on something out in the garage. This is me out in the garage using it as a shooting range. I bought a new crossbow a few days ago, and this is the first time I'm shooting it since I brought it home. This is a Barnett Raptor Pro STR, and it's supposed to be like 400 feet per second. It's supposed to be a pretty good bow, I guess. I bought this at Cutting Edge Sporting Goods in Greensburg, Indiana a few days ago, and I could go into a lot of detail with the service and help that I received there, but it would take me too long for this video. All I can say is the people at Cutting Edge in Greensburg, Indiana were super helpful, super knowledgeable, and if I have no hesitation of sending anybody I know to go there for help with archery. I just cannot say enough about that bunch that I met up there that day. I've been to a lot of other bow shops, and well, not a lot, but I mean, I've been to the mom and pop, archery specialist shops. I've probably been to, I don't know, 5 or 6 of them, and you get a lot of swollen heads at those places, guys that know everything, and you're just the idiot that walked in the door with a bow that you need some help with. I can tell you, I did not get that feeling at all up there. Those guys were very helpful, guys and girl. There's 2 girls in there, at least, that I saw that day. So I mean, just super helpful people, super friendly. I feel like I got a pretty good deal, especially for the amount of service and knowledge that I got that day. I'm tickled to death with this. So anyhow, I bought the crossbow. I bought some bolts. I bought a 6-pack of bolts. It comes with 2 of them and the scope that's mounted on there. That's a package deal from Barnett. But then I also picked up a 6-pack of bolts, and I bought some targets and stuff. This is all new for me. I'm used to dealing with, compound bow, just a regular vertical archery. So the crossbow is a new thing for me. I've kind of been a little bit leery of them. Indiana just started allowing crossbows for legal archery, deer hunting, and I'm going to guess they've probably been using them maybe 8 or 10 years, late archery season. And then over the last few years, they've opened it up for all of archery hunting. All deer hunting you can now do with a crossbow in Indiana. I've always heard bad things about them. The penetration is bad. They're loud. The deer are going to jump the string. But I'll tell you, since more guys are going to these crossbows, and I'm hearing more and more stories about it, I don't hear all that negative stuff like I used to. I'm hearing a lot of good about crossbows. So I don't plan on taking long shots. I know a lot of guys will, they're going to be, oh, I shot that deer at 75 yards. That ain't me. I'm never going to do that. I think that's unethical. That's just me. Now, you guys do what you want, but in my opinion, I'm not going to shoot at a deer more than 40 yards with this thing, probably. That's going to stretch my range about 10 yards further than I would have shot with my compound, and I felt pretty good about, the setup that I had with my compound bow. But still, most of my shots were 20 yards or inside. The furthest I think I ever shot a deer was 30. And beyond that, I just don't feel that it's ethical to take that shot. So I'm going to try to, maybe if this gets me 40 yards accurately, I'll be tickled to death with that. If I can shoot and practice out to 60 yards, or maybe even practice out to 70, then 40 yards would be a chip shot. So that's kind of the way I've always been with my compound bow. Practice further than you plan on shooting ethically, and close shots at a deer, you got your nerves going. There's so much in your head right then that I don't think it's ethical to take super long shots on deer. So anyhow, I guess in a nutshell, if I can be more accurate at close range, that'll make me a better hunter. So it all boils down to that. This crossbow should make me much more accurate at essentially the same range that I was shooting before. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for long range. I'm not looking for more penetration, you know, faster, quicker. I just want to be more accurate at close range, the ranges basically that I was shooting before. So hopefully this will get me that, make me a more ethical hunter and a better hunter that way. So that's the whole spiel there. But it's a Barnett Raptor Pro STR, and I shot it a few times when I was up there. I didn't want to waste a whole bunch of time. I was kind of in a hurry that day, and I'd spent probably 2 or 3 hours in there. So by the time I selected the bow that I liked, they got a whole rack full of them. You know, I kind of picked the one that felt the best, shot it a few times, said, yep, I want it, brought it home. So they sighted it in a little bit for me there. They got me inside the dot at 20 yards. So anyhow, when I come home, this was my first shot. And the center, it's kind of hard to tell on the video here. The center's probably a little left and a little down, or I've shot a little left and down of center. So I adjusted the scope, 10 clicks to the right, 10 clicks up. This was my second shot. So you can see I went a little too far with my adjustment. So I backed my adjustment down, 5 to the left and 5 back down. And you could not be more perfectly centered on that dot if you poke that thing in with your hand down here. I am tickled to death with the accuracy I'm seeing out of this crossbow. Granted, these are only the 3 shots I've taken since I've been home, but if this continues, I'll just be tickled to death with this thing. So I'm going to take a few more shots at this range, which is roughly about 20 yards. And then I'm going to move my setup outside so I can get some more yardage. And the one thing that I'm not crazy about with this crossbow, or this crossbow scope is, I'll see if I can get through, looking through the glass here. You can see the dots there. Okay, so the top dot now is set at 20 yards, and I did that using the adjustments here. But now since that one's set, I can't adjust the rest of the dots independently. So what I have to do is I have to back up until that second dot, you know, the second dot from the top is going to be my next yardage back. And I'm going to have to back up until my shots start falling on the dot. So with your standard archery sight, you know, you adjust each pin independently. You know, you stand at 20 yards and set that pin to where the arrow is falling. With this, you look at where the arrow or bolt is going and back up until the pin or sight matches where your arrow or bolt is falling. So like what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of paper probably, and I'll write, you know, first dot 20 yards, second dot maybe that falls at 35, and third dot maybe like 45, and so on. And then I'll put a piece of tape over it or something to kind of protect it from, you know, the weather and stuff. But that's about the only thing that I don't like so far. It is a little hard to pull. This thing, I mean, I'll be honest with you, they come with, you can see where it's got like a plug here for a cocking fixture. You know, I asked the guy about, you know, how hard it was to pull these things, and he said, well, most people don't have too much trouble as long as you don't have a back issue or something wrong with your arm or your hands or something. Because this rope cocking device, you put your foot through the end of it and you pull back on those ropes, and it's not as easy as you might think. I don't have the best back. I've been to the chiropractor more times than I'd like to admit, and it's a little rough on me pulling it. So a full day of shooting this thing, I would have to break it up into some small sessions, and that's kind of what I'm doing right here making this video. 3 shots, take a break. So in a hunting situation, you know, that won't be a problem. You cock it once and you go hunting for hours. So just something to keep in mind if you guys are thinking about, you know, one of these things. So far, I'm tickled to death with this thing though. So if you guys like this video, click that like button. If you want to see more videos like it, click that subscribe button, and you might see the next update on this, or you might see me working on that plow or In a recent video, I redid that meat tenderizer down there. So click that subscribe button. You never know what the hell I'm making videos on out here. And until the next video, guys, keep on tinkering.